don't you stand? Oh, you... Hello everyone, today I'll be doing a... I don't know how to explain. The best episode of each Doctor, or story. Yeah, I thought I'd do this because I had time, and I just thought, why not do this instead of a review or a top 10 or whatever. So anyway, first off, we got the first Doctor, William Hartnell. My favourite story is The Chase. It's... I don't know if it's underrated or not. Some people say it is, some people say it's not. Sorry, my lab's annoying. It's a brilliant episode. It's... I don't know. Something about it that makes it feel, you know, like a classic show. You know, the jump between different locations and... I don't know, the chemistry between, obviously, the Doctor and Ian and Barbara. You know, it feels, I don't know, but Polly, I think it's Polly, yes, Polly, I think it is, yeah, anyway. So yeah, I just love it, because, and also it's a Dalek story, I love Daleks. Second Doctor, we have got The Invasion, brilliant Sideman story. It's long, I think it's 8-10 parts. Can't remember, but yeah, it's you know, it's long, but it's good. You know, there's bits in it that don't need to be in it, but it's a brilliant story. And obviously, it's got the Brigadier returning since what's it called, Web of Fear. Also got the Sidemen, which were like big part of Patrick Troughton's run. I think Patrick Troughton himself is brilliant in this episode. So many iconic moments, and yeah. For the third Doctor, you probably all know this one, but yeah, it's The Three Doctors, the best story, my favourite story of all time anyway. You know, brilliant, Omega's brilliant, John Pertwee and Patrick Troughton are fantastic together. You know, William Hartnell went in it for ages, he's only in like bits of it, but he's good as well. You know, I just love Omega, and finally seeing Benton in the TARDIS, it is amazing. Fourth Doctor, we have got City of Death. Again, amazing story. It's written by, well, part of it is written by, obviously, the one and only Douglas Adams. You know, Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy and other stories like Sharda and The Pirate Planet. There's another one, I can't remember. But yeah, he's brilliant. And yeah, this episode is just so witty and charming. You know, it's gone down as one of the best in history of Doctor Who. You know, it's set in Paris, the first filming outside of Britain is, you know, it just felt like a change in Doctor Who. Scaroff, or Count Scarlione, is probably one of the best villains in Doctor Who as well. And it is really good. And it's 4 parts, which, you know, it's... Normally 4-parters are good in a way that, you know, they're short. You can watch them at once if you want. But with City of Death, you want another episode or 2 just to make it feel more longer, because you want to watch it for long. For the 5th Doctor, we have got Earthshock, which is... Oh, it's gonna... Oh, do you know what? There we go. Yeah, Earthshock is a brilliant story. Sidemen again, probably the best... The best Sideman story in all time, even better than Invasion, I'd say. And also the sad death of Adric. I liked Adric, but yeah, it was such a good story. When I first watched it ages ago, it was probably one of the first I saw. You know, I fell in love with the Sidemen. You know, I didn't really like the Sidemen, but now I love them. I love them better than the Daleks. It's a brilliant story. 6th Doctor, I kind of say it's this one. And it's the 2 Doctors. Probably the only reason I like this because of Colin Baker's portrayal of the Doctor in this episode. You know, he seems like the Doctor. When I first watched The Twin Dilemma, God help me, I hated it because, I don't know, the performance of Colin Baker. But the episode's rubbish anyway. But yeah, I didn't really like the 6th Doctor until I watched, I think this was my 3rd I watched. I think the 2nd was Time Lash. Well, I think I watched that online. I didn't like Colin Baker and that, but after I watched 2 Doctors, I fell in love with Colin Baker. You know, I think it's the way he's in this episode, how he's portrayed. It's amazing. You know, Patrick Troughton's also makes a return as the second Doctor, which is good. And the Sontarans, which look awful, but they have quite a good role. Seventh Doctor is Paradise Towers. I had to choose either this or... Oh, do you know what? There we go. I had to choose between this and The Greatest Show in the Galaxy. It was a hard choice, but I finally went with Paradise Towers because... I can't remember if it was. No, it weren't. No. Yeah, it was my favourite. The first episode I watched of the Seventh Doctor. No, I fell in love with him. Sylvester McCoy is amazing. I love Sylvester McCoy. But this story is just amazing. Most people hate it, but no, I love it. I just love it so much. I just think it feels like Doctor Who. It's humour, it's witty, it's got action, it's got suspense, you know, everything in one. It's first of all, it's like a comedy, and then it goes into a drama. Oops. And lastly, no, I've got quite a lot of Doctors to go. I have got the movie. It's the only one I could pick for the 8th Doctor, because it's either that or the Night of the Doctor. But Night of the Doctor's too short to put this, so I had to put the movie. You know, it's good. It's the only one I could talk about, but, you know, I could talk about the big finishes, couldn't I? Oh, but yeah, the movie is amazing. I love it. Most people hate it. I actually do enjoy it. You know, the setting. I'm always talking about setting, but the setting is good. You know, San Francisco. Yeah, San Francisco. Yeah, and it's just amazing. I love it. You know, Paul McGann is an epic Doctor, and I wish he would have stayed in a series made in Britain, not America, because that was rubbish. So yeah, next I'm going to talk about the 9th, 10th, 11th and 12th Doctors. I ain't got, you know, separate DVDs, but I can just talk to them. So yeah, let's go ahead. And hello again. Yeah, sorry, my phone. I had to turn it off before it ran out of charge anyway, so yeah. The 9th Doctor, my favourite story is probably Bad Wolf and Parting Other Ways. I did have this written down, but I've lost the sheet again. Yeah, you know, it's a brilliant two-parter. You know, it's sad to see Eccleston leave so early on in his tenure as the Doctor. I know why he wanted to leave, because he didn't want to be a typecast, which I do get, but it's quite annoying he didn't return in the 50th, because, you know, it's such a big event, and without the 9th Doctor, it didn't feel complete. You know, we had the War Doctor instead, and I loved the War Doctor, but it didn't feel complete with the 9th Doctor. But yeah, in Parting of the Ways and Bad Wolf, or Bad Wolf and Parting of the Ways, I don't know why, it just felt like an epic Doctor Who classic. You know, when I first watched it back in 2005 when it was broadcast, it felt like classic Doctor Who. You know, it had the Daleks, it had threat, it had, you know, character. But yeah, it's a brilliant story by Stephen Moffat. And Russell T Davies. Probably one of the best Russell T Davies. I don't know, that could be changed rather easily. Yeah, I change my opinions all the time, but yeah, it was a brilliant episode to round off the 9th Doctor's tenure. I can't even speak. And for the 10th Doctor, my favourite story is the Sontaran Stratagem and the Poison Sky, or the next Doctor. I couldn't make up my mind. I love them so much. You know, Sontaran Stratagem and the Poison Sky, underrated in my opinion. You know, some people like it, some people don't, but it is a brilliant two-parter. You know, since I watched it the first time, I remember that day having a barbecue. Yeah, I loved it. You know, I fell in love with it. It was such an amazing story by Helen Rayner, probably one of my favourite writers, because I love Evolution of Daleks and Daleks in Manhattan. Oh, way round. Daleks in Manhattan. I can't speak. Daleks in Manhattan and Evolution of Daleks. It was such an amazing story, and I fell in love with Helen Rayner for Sontaran Stratagem and the Poison Sky. And the next Doctor, underrated like hell. Everyone hates it, but I love it. You know, what's his name? Not Neil Morrissey. David Morrissey is amazing as Jackson Lake. The Cybermen, they're really good in the episode. Probably my favourite Cyberman episode as well. Before Earthshock. Yeah, and the invasion. Yeah, and that's, you know, I do like David Tennant, but some people just love him because that's probably their first Doctor they watched. But for me, my first Doctor was Eccleston, but then I went to John Pertwee and then to David Tennant. So yeah, I love him because he's David Tennant. You know, he felt like a good Doctor. And yeah, but I still love Peter Capaldi. Peter Capaldi, I meant John Bell. My hand was in the way. My favourite 11th Doctor story, I didn't write down because I couldn't think of one. You know, I actually couldn't think. I'm going to say my favourite is... Day of the Doctor sounds like a cop-out, so yeah, I love Day of the Doctor because it's just an amazing 50th anniversary special. But, I know, I'm just going to say ones I like from his 50th... I like Victory of the Daleks, severely underrated. I like The Lodger, I like Closing Time, severely underrated. The Doctor's Wife, the next Doctor, the Name of the Doctor, what's it called? Crimson Horror, Dinosaurs on a Spaceship, Power of Three, The Snowmen. You know, I loved always, but I couldn't pick one because I just loved them so much, and I just loved it. So, sorry, I'm being so weird today. What is wrong with me? And Peter Capaldi, obviously there ain't a figure of him yet because I don't collect the 3.75 inch, whatever they are. So I'm just going to use this. Sorry. But yeah, my favourite Peter Capaldi episode is probably Robot Sherwood or Death in Heaven. Oh, for God's sake, I'm doing it again! Dark Water and Death in Heaven. Yeah, scratch Robot Sherwood. Dark Water and Death in Heaven, my favourite. You know, with the Master and the Sidemen, two of my favourite villains and monsters. You know, I loved it. You know, Missy is probably my favourite Master after or before Delgado. I don't know. Peter Capaldi is one of my favourite Doctors. Don't know where I put him. I put him after John Pertwee actually. And yeah, I think the relationship between Clara and Danny Pink was pretty good in the episode. Yeah. I think the plot of, you know, Don't Cremate Me was a brilliant plot. I love dark stuff like Dark Macabre. I can't even Macabre, whatever that means. I don't know, it just comes to my head. You know, I love dark stuff. You know, creepypastas and stuff like that. And it felt like that. You know, it felt like a dark story you'd hear on Tumblr or Reddit. You know, something which made the episode feel more for me because, you know, death is such a dark topic, but it grabs your attention. You know people who's died. When you hear the words "Don't cremate me," and you know someone who's been cremated, it makes you feel scared. It makes you feel worried that if this was real, you would have felt sorry for them. And that's what it did to me. It actually brought my emotions in. You know, "Don't cremate me." It made me sad. It made me scared. And also, oh no, I'm a wuss, but the death of Osgood, that made me feel sad. I loved Osgood. Also, the death of Danny Pink, I didn't really care, but, you know, I love Danny Pink, but was it death? Because no, that was a dream, wasn't it, last Christmas? But anyway, yeah, you know, Danny Pink's death, it felt rushed. I know, it's Danny Pink, he's a secondary character, but I would have loved to have him have a bigger done, and the Brigadier, I forgot about the Brigadier, the Brigadier come back, which was, you know, good. So yeah, that's my top stories of every Doctor. Obviously I can't do one for the War Doctor because he was only in Day of the Doctor. So yeah, that's everything. I hope to see you later. Put in the comments what you'd like to see next. I am so confused with what I'm doing. This schedule is stupid. I'm a big procrastinator, so don't know what I'm going to do next. I've got exams and stuff, and loads of rubbish. I'm going to swear then. Stupid stuff. So, I don't know when I'll next upload. You know, when I have time, I make stuff like this, but I don't have a lot of time now. So, yeah, please leave a like, leave a comment. I want to hear yours, so please write a comment what your favourite is. I'd love to hear it. Anyway, I've done a Doctor Who tag, ain't I? I ain't uploaded, oh god, I ain't uploaded my Doctor Who tag. Yeah, I'll do that. I better do that. I'll probably edit it after this. I've got to do that. Alright, see you later. Goodbye, my friends. Have I gone crazy?